Normality in Britain seems far away. Weeks ago, face masks would have been reserved for medical staff. Now they're an increasingly common sight in public. This COVID-19 survivor won't go outside without one.
Frankly, it's better to be alive than to not keep it away from people. But having actually had the virus and knowing how bad it is, and obviously speaking to people who've had friends who've died, then it's a simple choice. Let's keep protected.
These shoppers find comfort in wearing them, even if there are doubts over their effectiveness.
Well, I sometimes wear one, sometimes I don't. I'm completely at a loss to know whether it's a good idea or not.
If you could get your hands on one, would you wear a face mask?
I probably wouldn't actually, no. I just feel that I don't really need one.
The government is being briefed on whether encouraging people to wear face masks would allow for some loosening of lockdown restrictions. But one expert says this shouldn't come at the expense of those on the front line.
Those key workers who cannot socially distance, the bus drivers, the shopkeepers, the supermarket cashiers, also need to have protection because they are in close proximity to other people too. However, it's vital that this must not mean that there's any reduction in essential and vital supplies of protective equipment, including masks, for health and care workers.
Social distancing is working. NHS England's National Medical Director says the number of deaths in hospitals is now starting to decline.
This is absolutely because we as a British public have paid attention to the social distancing guidance we have been given.
And it's hoped the order of 50 million antibody testing kits will give a clearer picture of who's already had the virus. Researchers at Oxford University are analysing the blood of people who have had the infection but have now recovered. They could cost as little as £10 and be available over the counter. But the World Health Organization says there's no evidence that people who have recovered from COVID-19 and have antibodies are protected from a second infection. So without a vaccine, when will normal life resume?
Life after lockdown in the UK may be very different. The staggered reopening of businesses, plus physical distancing between desks in offices and even extra space between passengers on flights are all being discussed.
As the government discusses the next phase of their response, plans may include quarantining passengers entering the country. Social distancing and hygiene on public transport will also be closely monitored, all part of managing an outbreak whilst keeping the country moving. Ashna Harinag, Sky News.